We're in the Atlantic Ocean, sailing from Cape Verde to Barbados. We left Cape Verde 2 days ago, feeling nervous about the forecasted weather ahead. Oh, it's happening. I actually can't believe it. We knew we'd face a few days of uncomfortable conditions. However, the predicted winds promised a fast crossing, convincing us it was the right choice. There's a fine line between being stuck in the doldrums and encountering challenging conditions out here. Our decision's consequences became clear when we faced 4 to 5 metre swells like a washing machine and gusts of 38 knots. This is when things started to break. The autopilot has stopped working. And not just the boat, but also our spirits. Yeah, I'm not feeling the best. I've already had a cry. The exhaustion was really starting to kick in, but we had no choice but to keep on working through the problems, hoping we'd come out the other end of it soon and things would be okay once again.
Sun's just about to show its head. We are on day 3 of our passage. The autopilot arm, the bolt has literally sheared in half. I've managed to put a new bolt on up here, as you can see, just so it connects to the steering column. That nut is not on properly. It's the wrong size thread for the bolt, so it's literally just hanging on there. So let's hope it lasts. It was a bit dodgy trying to put that bolt on because obviously Janae's hand steering and me trying to get my arm in here while she's doing it is, yeah, very sketchy.
Not having a great time here. Got a decent night's rest, and then basically as soon as I went inside to say hello to the girls and have a little awake rest, all our electronics failed. So no autopilot, no wind instruments, no anything like that. Chart plotter was working, but that's it. So you could see our speed over ground and nothing else. So we think maybe that water ingress coming inside has gotten to our electronics. We changed a fuse and they started working, and then like a couple minutes later they were gone again. So we've decided to heave to, which we've never done before, but we seem to have gotten it right. I know that sounds stupid that we haven't done it before. We're idiots. But yeah, hopefully we sort it out, fix the leak as much as we can for now, and get the boat packed back up because it's literally a bomb down there from just trying to get things and just being so exhausted. We also had a fuel leak from one of our jerry cans, which we had to clean up inside the locker. So we had numerous things to deal with while we hove to. Heaving to is a technique used to pause your journey and keep the boat stable, especially in rough weather. First, you turn the bow of the boat into the wind, then you set the jib so it's backed, meaning it's pushed to the opposite side of the boat. Next, you lock the rudder to keep the boat turned slightly off the wind. This balance between the backed jib and the mainsail creates a counteracting force, which stops the boat's forward motion and keeps it steady. We unfortunately didn't take any footage of the leaks we attempted to plug up. However, this stuff was honestly horrible to work with. It was a soft wax consistency and is made for leaks, but it wouldn't stick to the area and we made a complete mess of it trying to spread it out and get it to stick. We did the best we could by applying a ton of it around the whole area. I would not recommend this product, but I'd highly recommend having something on hand that will work over an area that you can't get dry before applying, for situations like this. Let us know in the comments if you have any good recommendations. We were both feeling extremely exhausted, especially as we barely had any time to put some food and drink down. I was struggling to even stand up and starting to feel shaky and weak, as I tend to get low blood sugar when I haven't eaten for a few hours. So I scrambled around in the galley to find something quick and easy to eat, and we sat outside eating cheese, tomato and crackers. It's crazy how much better you can function after a bit of food and some hydration.
So we're going to take the wires from the instruments here. Oh. Oh my god, just get out. So we want to use the C-Torque cable. These aren't working, none of these instruments are working, so our last opportunity for us to use the autopilot is to hopefully use one of these cables and plug it directly into the autopilot computer. So I've pulled this C-Torque wire off one of the instruments. We've drilled one of the autopilots in here, drilled a hole in here, so it's right really close to the autopilot computer. Yeah, and we're just going to plug it into the autopilot computer and really just hope it works. Right, fingers crossed. Right, so I need to take these plugs out. Can you get some light here, darling? Oh, I've pulled one out that I didn't mean to. Alright, black. Oh, geez, it's rough out there. Alright, where's the yellow to yellow. This is our last fuse, so let's hope this works. Last 5 amp fuse anyway. Alright, flick the instruments on, darling.
You ready?
Yeah. Oh my god, it's working.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes. We've got the autopilot.
After heaving to for what we believe was around 7 or 8 hours to get everything sorted, finally put some food down and have a minute to just breathe and rest, we got moving once again. The wind was still pretty strong, so we still managed to move around 14 nautical miles while heaving to. Unfortunately not exactly in the right direction, so we did backtrack a little. The problems had been piling on top of each other and we were digging a deeper, darker hole. So it was so worth it to sort out our issues and have a break from the constant swell and wind. We still had a few big waves crash over the side of the boat, and we also had to call out to a ship coming our way on the radio to alert them that we had no control over the steering and to please go around us. Fortunately, they were very friendly and responsive and actually had us and another sailboat confused for a minute, which was almost a nice feeling knowing there was other boats not all too far away from us.
It's very dark and gloomy around us. We've just dealt with squalls all day, huge swells. It's not been the day for us.
Not been the last 2 days for us.
Yeah. Has it been 2 days of just hell?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh.
Hell.
I'll let Janae fill you in anyway.
I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, it's full on. We couldn't film it. But we're on the mend again, hopefully, touch wood. I don't want to... Yeah. Oh, we've just got bucketed down with rain.
It wasn't too bad actually in the end. Oh look, it's a rainbow! 2 rainbows!
Got a little sun shower happening here.
Look, can you see the two rainbows?
Oh yeah. Wow.
Hopefully that's a sign of better things to come, hey?
Yeah.
But we're feeling pretty low. I could cry just saying it, but yeah, we've had a shit go. We're like, what have we done wrong to deserve this? I said, Jason, we're really getting tested here.
We've literally had everything you can think of on this boat. No, not everything.
No, let's not say that.
A lot of things break.
Maybe a lot of annoying things.
Yeah, that you'd really need on a passage. The autopilot is just running by itself at the moment. The controller that controls it has a cable failure.
First time the girls have been outside literally since we left. We've been feeling very sorry for them and feel like we're neglecting them, but we just had to keep them safe in the wind and swell, and all we were doing was giving them a quick cuddle, feeding them, changing their litter, and that was it. This is now the semi-cleaned up mess from having to try and find leaks and get to the autopilot. Look at this at the back. Oh my god, the leather's coming down with all the foam backing disintegrating, which has been happening everywhere, but there's dirt and wet sea salt everywhere. We can't even sleep in here. This is all undone still so we can check on it. And it's all just gonna be a salty, dirty mess probably until we either get there or get close where I know I can use the water to do some hand washing. We're also still trying to deal with the leak. Water is still coming in. We don't know if it's just what's stuck under the floor or if it's still coming in. But pretty much every hour we check on this and do a couple of squeezes out of this towel. It's not ideal, but it's manageable, so it's fine. There's not really too much we can do because where we think the leak is coming from is wet outside, so we can't use anything like that you normally would to be able to fix it, where you've got to make sure it's dry first, like Sikaflex or silicone. So we've done what we can, but yeah, not ideal. First time having a shower on the crossing. And I think, is it day 4 or 5? I have no idea. I think it might actually be day 5 today. And probably the first time brushing my teeth in 2 days as well. That's just the realities of when shit goes wrong on a boat and you just don't have time for anything else. We're barely eating and drinking, let alone doing personal hygiene. But yeah, feeling so much better now. Washed my hair, shaved, washed my face. So yeah, feeling nice and fresh, and tried not to use too much water. I was pretty conservative, so yeah. I'm gonna try and convince Jason to have a shower too now. It's hard to explain the feeling, but after such a hard couple of days that really pushed us to our limits, such simple things like having a shower and brushing our teeth, enjoying a hearty meal and watching the sunset honestly felt euphoric. After such low lows, just feeling normal felt like such a high. We blared some music because music makes everything better, and sung our little hearts out because it wasn't like anyone was going to hear us in the middle of the ocean. It finally felt like things were looking up. That night, we also gave way to another boat, 5 days into the Atlantic crossing. Sometimes you feel so alone out here, and then things like this happen, and you realise there's always someone else on the same journey. Just had my brekkie. It is such a mess inside, and we've just got damp, salty things everywhere, and oh, it really needs a good clean, but it's just so hard to do anything with the constant rolling. Like, you get so over it. A lot of people said like boredom would be the worst part of this trip, but it's been the complete opposite for us because we haven't had like a rainbows and butterflies trip so far. But it would just be really nice to be able to clean up, but it's just such a mission to do. And then even if you do manage to do it, then everything just ends up falling everywhere again. So we can't put stuff back where it would normally sit, where on every other passage it usually stays. Obviously some stuff does fall over, but yeah, so it's just like, everything's a mess. And then we've got stuff all stored on our normal bed, because we were sleeping in the other room, but that's all damp and gross now, so that's just, I can't really take the sheets off in case more stuff drips on the bed covers and all of that, but so yeah, we're basically sleeping on the lounge, but I don't know. I'm going to try and clean up. We'll see how we go.
What have you done to yourself this morning, darling?
Oh, you know how I said I was cleaning up? Well, I managed to clean up inside. And obviously the rocking and rolling makes it hard anyway. Then I came outside and we decided we'd wash the deck a little bit in the cockpit because you get crumbs and stuff build up really quickly. So Jason was getting the buckets of water, and then I'm like, oh, I'll get the scrubbing brush so I can like scrub down the little like edges where it all sits to help move it on. And we leave it where the cat litter pooper scoop thing is, which is like in this little slot behind one of the steering wheels. And obviously we've got the autopilot on, but the autopilot control panel now is in the wardrobe downstairs inside. And I've gone to get it and I could see it moving, and I'm like, oh, I'll go this one and quickly get it. And then the autopilot control, just when I got my hand, like I couldn't get it out quick enough. Just when I put my hand in, my hand got stuck, and then it just crushed my hand. Like the wheel was just going back and forth, and I was just screaming, and I didn't know what to do. I couldn't get it out. And then Jason was like, what the f is going on? So it took him like a little bit to realize. And so then he came over and like reefed the wheel like one way a little bit. I just didn't think it to do it, but I also was really scared to reef it in case I the autopilot.
I know, I was more concerned about you at that time than the autopilot.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't know what to do. I just was squealing and just stuck there. So anyway, I don't know what's going on. Like, I got like a big instant dark lump there, and it kind of hit me here and here, and my hand feels a little bit like numb and funny and kind of electric shock feeling up it. I don't think I've broken anything. I don't know if it's just bruise or if I've like hit a nerve, or I think that might be like a burst blood vessel or something, potentially, or a vein or whatever. So yeah, not ideal, because if it ends up being like I can't use it properly, like if I can't hold on to stuff tightly, I'm not going to be able to winch or like pull lines or anything.
Or if the autopilot breaks.
And just with all this rolling, like even just trying to come down the stairs and not lean on both your hands, and it's really hard to do. Yeah. So anyway, I'm sure it'll be okay, but it's pretty painful. I got some frozen peas here, and I decided to just come chill inside for a bit. So at least the boat's like semi-clean now, so I can chill in not like a pigsty.
Oh, darling.
Yeah, just when you think, like, I don't want to be negative at all, but it's like, just when you think things are looking up, like, I just feel like I just can't catch a break at the moment. Like, both of us, but now I've bloody done this, so
yeah,
anyway.
You should be good.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. I'm just using a bit of metal epoxy, and we are going to try and metal epoxy this bolt back together so we've got a backup if the other one goes. Not sure how well it's going to work.
Oh, that's what you're doing. The old autopilot bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's no harm in trying, hey?
Like, it definitely might not work. Probably
it's
won't.
Better to have it set, like, to give it time to set, obviously, so.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't see exactly how it goes. This might be a bit of a disaster.
Need to put like a peg around it or something to hold it. hand's doing a lot better now. I iced it and rested it, and a lot of the kind of bruising or the little swollen bubble has gone down, and it just feels like my wrist is a little bit jarred or sprained and a little bit of bruising, but I can move it. I just have to be a bit careful. It's a little bit sore. But yeah, at least there's not any major damage done. I've also just been setting up our Iridium Go. We decided not to set it up before we left because we have Starlink, and it just gets really expensive between the two things. Because obviously when you go on the ocean, you've got to change your plan, plus you've got to do mobile priority data. So you've got to change your plan to like 200 and something euros for the month, plus then you've got to pay €2.30 per gigabyte that you use. Oh, Lulu is just going off. She's on heat, so she's being super needy, although she does do this at the door a lot. Anyway, yeah, word of advice. If you're going to do the Iridium Go, make sure that you start doing setup like a while before you leave, because it is a bloody mission. You've got to try and set up the device, but then you've got to set up separately the email, the SOS function, possibly update the firmware on it and all of that. So yeah, it's been a bit of a mission to do, and it's taken me days because it's just been kind of the last thing on my mind. But we decided when everything started going wrong that maybe it was a good idea to set up the Iridium, because if we somehow lose full power, then we can't maybe use the Starlink, and Starlink you obviously can't take with you if something bad does happen and you have to abandon the boat, whereas the Iridium Go, as long as you've got it charged up, is portable. Yeah, so we just decided we'd spend the money. We just did the basic plan, which I think was $70. Then you can also do tracking, where it updates your tracking automatically. I think that's another $100, but I think we'll be okay without that. Yeah, but at least we've got it to send SOS and send emails to other people with Iridium Go and stuff, or make calls if we need to. For now, we'll just keep using our No Foreign Land tracker. That's been fine. Yeah, so getting things sorted now, which is nice. And hopefully tomorrow will be calm enough that I can do some editing finally. It'd be really nice to get back up to track, back on track. And yeah, we've got a lot of things to fix, and we haven't posted for like a month, so we're gonna be broke. We're really lucky. We've had quite a few of you very, very generous supporters who have sent us a donation, like a buy us a beer donation, but you've been very, very generous, so it's gonna help us out with fixing a few things as well. So thank you to whoever did that. Yeah, that's amazing. You guys are amazing.
Once again, thank you so much for all your support on this wild adventure of ours. We couldn't do it without you guys, especially our loyal patrons and those of you who send us donations.